there's something that we could probably all agree on in the next one is that Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania has kind of flopped. And I say this because it's subjectively true in that the numbers do not necessarily lie. I will say that it has now been out since February 17th, so what is that, like over 2 weeks now? And it is sitting at 367 million worldwide. Now, that is for a $200 million movie. A $200 million movie, which cost another $200 million to market, which they're probably only going to get. Maybe I'm going to be super generous and say 60% of the gate receipts on that one. So they're probably looking at about 700 million just to break even, and they are sitting at, after 2 weeks, 367 million. They are not getting anywhere near that total. This movie has burned out already.
Pretty sure it got reshot to hell and back too. The amount of endings I've heard about that didn't make it to the final cut is pretty interesting. The one everyone's talking about is that Hope and Ant-Man were supposed to be stuck in the quantum realm at the end, but they were like, just have a portal open, it'll be fine.
We've just got to get everything back to the way it was.
Like, they responded to that and said the reason that they decided against it was because it was the same as the second movie. It's like, yeah, but that was the better ending to the movie. It doesn't matter if something repeats. It matters if that's the better... If that leads to a better story, do it.
For anything. It's such a self-contained piece of shit film. Like, nothing really comes of it, other than like, well, Kang, he's spooky, he's around. It's like, okay.
But he isn't spooky! He gets defeated every time he ever appears! This is meant to be your big bad that you're building an entire universe on, and every time he appears, you crap on him as if he's absolutely useless. He got defeated by ants. And we're supposed to, oh yeah, he's the same as Thanos.
He got killed by female Loki first time around. Like, she just fucking stabbed him. And then you've got like this douchebag who just gets killed by a bunch of ants. Like you said in that, I couldn't believe this was real at the time when you described this to me, Mauler. Kang the Conqueror gets defeated by a bunch of giant ants with lasers on their heads, and that was the end of the movie, essentially.
Freaking laser beams attached to their heads.
How are you building up this villain? Because every time we've seen him, he's gotten his ass kicked. And yeah, the person here, Ant-Man 3, is the same as Spy Kids. Yeah, if you've seen the memes, it's fucking true. Like, all the shots that are just like shot for shot, exactly the same.
If you wanted the exact same plot, though, it's Tron Legacy. Like, every single plot beat is from Tron Legacy. The premise is, in Tron Legacy, the son of Flynn, Reed, son of Miss Van Dyne in the Ant-Man universe, is tricked down into the miniaturized realm where they discover that there is the villain who the original hero sort of met up with, shacked up with, did some work with, and was betrayed.
Yep.
The evil villain then creates a vast empire and plans to invade the human realm with this massive army, but they need the MacGuffin to open the portal, which will allow their vast armies to take back to the real world again. There's a fight at the end in which our original hero sees that the big bad is about to get to the portal, so sacrifices himself, and the portal closes, the family escape, and evil villain is stuck down there forever and defeated. There's more to it than that as well. I'm still working on the video for this, and there's like a long breakdown of like just every single major key element in this plot is stolen. The only difference is aesthetic, but then...
But the thing is, it's like comparing like Star Trek Nemesis with Star Trek The Wrath of Khan. Like, the same basic idea, but one is clearly far better implemented than the other, you know?
Well, yeah, I mean, what's the major thing that differentiates Ant-Man, supposedly, anyway? It is the aesthetic. It's the quantum realm aesthetic, in which everything is kind of weird and amorphous, and it's very colourful, and it looks pretty, but then you compare that with something like Tron Legacy, which is a deeply flawed film, but nevertheless has a very, very clear design philosophy and a way of conveying a visual story, and where care and attention's been placed into how you make this world work. Ant-Man's is just, well, that looks funny and weird. We're going to have the weird goop alien obsessed with holes. Flying manta rays, they also look cool. We need to go to a bar, which is definitely not the bar from Tron Legacy, to meet the evil guy, who's definitely not the evil guy from Tron Legacy. Also from Thor Ragnarok, which had a very similar kind of approach as well. It's such a derivative mess. But then the major problem is that we're not able to care about any of this because we've seen the story before, and then the only new elements to this is the reveal of Kang's multiversal domination plan, which is literally unfathomable. You have infinite versions of this guy in infinite timelines, destroying infinite timelines with infinite versions of our infinite heroes, who's trapped down here out of time, even though sometimes the film forgets that he's trapped down there out of time, but there's a timeline in which he was never trapped down there, so he can't ever stop. Like, what the hell are we supposed to be localizing here to actually understand what the stakes of this story are?
You think you're approaching this from the wrong direction. It's like, just consume the product and get excited for the next product. That's all the mentality that went behind this movie. It's just a self-contained story that you're not meant to think about too much. A bunch of colorful stuff happens on screen. You have a few laughs. You move on. That's it. That's all they wanted from this. And this is the thing that's meant to kick off Phase 5 of the MCU. It's Ant-Man was always the most low-level, disposable, forgettable protagonist of the MCU, and this is the guy that's meant to be leading the charge. It's bizarre. This whole movie makes no sense. It's like every Marvel trope, every cliche about how they make their movies is exemplified in this one film.
Do you remember an open bar of your long ago where you said it looks like Ant-Man's going to be kind of a serious movie? Looks like
I saw that trailer and I was taking it.
Don't be a dick.
Yeah, and then I saw MODOK with his fucking helmet.
Well, I remember. Wasn't I just like, no way, no fucking way, it'll be a series?
Yeah, you were right. You called it, man. I'll give you that one. Yeah, like an audible groan went up amongst the 12 or so people who were in my movie theater when MODOK revealed himself. It was just the most pathetic, ridiculous garbage.
You had 12
imaginable.
people in your cinema? I didn't have 12 people in mine.
Hustling.
Literally 12, yeah.
I was on the second one for the day, didn't have 12 people in total, including me.
It's just,
was
well, hence the box office totals.
It was
The
totally
highlight-
all over the place as well. Like, MODOK's reveal comes after we've just had a platoon-style gunning down of innocent natives, and then it cuts away to Ronald McDonald with a Gatling gun. It's so weird. Like,
It is.
It's,
how am I
it's the
supposed to-
reshoots. It's the reshoots. That's what I heard about this movie. It was originally, like, the first cut of it was much more serious, much more, like, at stake. And Marvel stepped in and basically said, nope, we have to have the usual patented Marvel humor, because if people aren't laughing, then they're not enjoying themselves. And so that's what you get, these really awkward, tonally inconsistent shifts into comedy.
It's like rubber banding for emotions as well, in the sense
Yeah.
that you get just a slight little bit of leeway to say, well, this scene the audience is supposed to understand is serious, but it's not that serious, guys, because look, here's MODOK. And then later on you get, well, the entire multiverse is at stake and the guy's giant doom ship is launching and we're all basically dead. But, oh, don't worry, guys, because, don't be a dick. That's funny. So just whiplash right back to the center again. There's nothing to latch onto or to care about in this.
Dude, there's something
I
pretty
could make the
jarring.
argument that, like, MODOK's existence is like a piece of David Cronenberg, like, fucking body horror.
Yeah.
And that, like, you've been transposed into this horrible alternate dimension where you're a giant head and your limbs are horribly malformed and out of sync with the rest of your body. And yet he's just it's played for laughs. It's like he's just chortling away. He's happy.
Dude,
He's
They have him coughing up, like practically vomiting up blood while laughing at him as he's dying after he saved the multiverse. I don't know what to like. It's not even about like saying it's bad. I just want to find the person who wrote this or directed this at the same time. And be like, what do you think I'm supposed to do with this? What did you want me to do with this? I don't know if I'm supposed to be like, oh, isn't it funny that he's dead? What? Like, why? And I think they'd be like, well, it's kind of funny, right? Because he says, haha, I'm an Avenger. Isn't that ridiculous? It's like, okay.
But it's like it'd be like if you tried to make a joke out of Darth Vader's death in Return of the Jedi. I know it's not the same level, but it's the same premise of like an evil character redeeming themselves and sacrificing their life for a greater good. That's not a joke. That shouldn't be laughed at.
I think of him as a joke of a character. I don't get it. But like the part where he says, I don't really even know what I am. Tell me what to be. I was like, fuck, that's depressing, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me what to be. That's almost
And
existential.
asking like a 15-year-old girl what you should be when you're like a 45-year-old man is really pathetic.
Well,
Like, as if
but-
she's going to give you a coherent answer.
The thing is, they didn't go into it, but like, was he forced to be a weapon? Did he want to be? Were they trying to run with the idea that he loves power and so he's happy almost as MODOK? But no, not really, because he actually feels bad about killing everybody, or not? Did he really betray Kang because he hates Kang and he wants to like help save the world, or did he just do it on a whim? Like, I have no idea, because character work is non-existent in the fucking MCU at this point.
Yeah, because like you get that scene where Kang just like slams him against the wall and he's like crushing him with the force of his
For no reason at all.
telekinesis, which incidentally he never fucking uses when he's under attack by the ants. Like you
course
could just
not.
use that telekinesis to just like throw
Dude,
them away or crush them to death or something.
He beat two
But-
ant people in a fight by flicking them.
But then, how hard would it have been to show him doing that to MODOK, and then like he releases him, and MODOK just gives him a fucking look like, "Yeah, you're gonna get yours. Like one day, I'm gonna be like, you know."
That's the
I'll
thing,
be
Drinker.
more
That's
powerful
why
than you.
That's why that's even in there, is to help us figure out why exactly he would even turn on Kang. Because other than that moment, there's nothing. All we know is that Kang saved his life. So why would he turn on him? It's like,
Yeah.
well, you know what? He hit him once. Do you remember the nature of that scene? It's so weird. He's like, Ant-Man, I need you to steal something. And according to MODOK, you're pretty good at it. And then MODOK says, yeah, he stole something of mine before. And then he just gets grabbed in the throat. It's like, what? He was prompted to speak. Why isn't he? And he's like, don't
Yeah.
speak while I'm in the room. It's like, why? Like, does that harm you in some way?
Yeah, imagine if that scene had opened with MODOK having taken matters into his own hands, like shown a bit of initiative and done something that Kang didn't want him to do, and then he
Yeah.
gets punished for it. It's like, okay, fine, you've established he's a bit of a loose cannon and he's got ideas above his station, and that is the seeds of rebellion being sown there. But it's like, yeah, you get nothing like that.
Yeah, and you
That's
could have
because
done like
MODOK
a
was
twist.
Taika Waititi. It was Taika Waititi humor throughout the entire movie. Something which I think isn't funny. I don't know which like group of people Taika Waititi humor is meant to be funny, but it's not the kind of humor I identify with at all. And even as a movie itself, Kang in this, he's not a throwaway villain because he goes into the future. This is a Kang which has been exiled from every single other person because he was so dangerous. And he's like, I'm the only person that can save you from every single other Kang in existence, and you're the one that's fighting me.
Yeah,
This
and
is meant to be a major deal. It's not a throwaway movie that you can just ignore and carry on with the universe.
He's
at
coming
all.
back, apparently.
They're
that
saying
Kang.
this is his only chance.
Thanks for watching this video. If you're interested in supporting my channel but you don't want to bother with Patreon or any of that other stuff, then I might suggest taking a look at my latest novel, Dark Harvest, on Amazon. It's got hundreds of 5-star reviews, I'm reliably informed that it's pretty good, and well, it really helps to support creators who just want to tell good stories without the message. I'll put the link in the description if you want to take a look. Anyway, that's all I've got for today. Go away now.